Hi, I'm Ron Strouse, Mayor of Doylestown, and I'm here with Jim Brexler, the CEO of Doylestown Health. And we're here today to talk about the need for masking and the environment that we find ourselves in our community. Nice to be with you, Jim.
Mr. Mayor, it's good to be back in conversation with you again today, and then a little update of how things are going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good.
And what people need to remind ourselves every day about.
Well, and we know that all around the country we're experiencing new levels of infection from COVID, and we certainly expect that may be the case here, and that may require us to double our efforts in terms of keeping those infections at a lower level.
So I got to say, Mr. Mayor, that I think this community has really listened to the advice of many, including yourself and those of us in healthcare, to wear masks, to stay socially distant, to be careful and vigilant. And that has made a big difference because our community numbers throughout the summer and early fall have really been very good. But this disease didn't go away. This disease is still here. It was even here during the summer. And now, rather than think of it as huge surges, think of it as waves of the disease. It's
Right.
like the flu. The flu doesn't go away. This just happens to be one that's much more difficult to manage, and we're still learning about.
Right, and we're in an environment where the weather changes, where we'll be doing less outside, where our businesses will have less activity outside as they've had over the summer months, and that creates new pressures and new expectations as to what we have to do going forward.
Yeah, outside has been a wonderful, no pun intended, breath of fresh air. I was actually on a call this morning where there was a call for anyone that has extra heaters to bring them so that we can keep as much outside venue available as possible.
Right.
And we do have a good climate. I think that we can do that at least for several weeks still. But we are going inside. That's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
And we're just going to have to be really careful in those situations. It's not that you can't go inside, but the amount of distance between tables to make sure you wipe surfaces, that things are cleaned between sittings, if that's what happens in restaurants and other places, is really important.
Yeah, we've worked all summer long with our restaurants and retailers to close streets on weekends to create a safe environment where they can operate safely. I think they've done a pretty good job of doing that. And I think they've done a pretty good job of keeping people safe when you enter their shops and restaurants. But the challenges are going forward. They're going to be significant challenges. I mean, to a certain extent, some of us feel boredom and complacency in terms of the routine of wearing a mask, and we just can't let that happen.
Well, what we need to now do is get excited about the creativity of masks, because now we have designer masks out there.
Right.
But it is really, it's a simple set of things that really protect us all. Wearing a mask really is not just protecting yourself, it's really protecting your loved ones and the people that you're around. It's protecting you from sharing. Washing our hands and sanitizing, very important. And to create just a little bit of distance, find new ways to connect. Elbows are not bad to shake hands with. I mean, there are new things that we're learning, I think, that are important, that shouldn't go away. And our kids now are really understanding that in the schools, where they are having to follow good, safe practices. So we might want to listen to what they're learning to do.
Right.
To be able to,
Right.
they're always good teachers for us adults, right?
Right, they are. They are.
The other thing I would caution us about is that we're entering into a season of generally holidays and travel, and there will be more of that this season. I think I say we're back to that. That's going to create some interesting challenges too. So when you go into settings where you've got families that have come from multiple parts of the country coming in, you don't know what protections they've done. So smile, but don't necessarily give lots of hugs. I hate to say that. I'm a hugger, and it's hard to do.
Yeah, I mean, the word really is caution. I mean, we have to act in a cautionary way to keep all of us safe. And we have to act also to make sure our healthcare system
Yes.
can meet whatever demand takes place by keeping that demand lower.
So some good news on the healthcare front in our community that I want to alert everyone about. One is that we have just opened up a drive-through COVID and flu testing site. It's
And flu as well.
And flu as well,
Okay.
so that you can go through and have a test done. Still requires a physician order, but it's really simple. It's at the intersection of Ferry Road and 313 and the old Eagles Peak.
The water company?
Yeah. So it's a drive-through model. I've talked to several people who have gone through it. It takes about 5 minutes to drive up, go in, the doors close, you're swabbed, you go out, and we're doing rapid testing now so that the results are available to you that same day.
So you'll
really
be able
powerful.
to determine whether someone has the flu or has COVID.
Correct,
Okay.
and which is really important as we see viral issues coming out, and you don't know what that might be. So to separate those can really be helpful, we think. The other thing that I'm excited in the sense of preparedness is that we know more about this disease now. With the rapid testing, we won't have to be hospitalizing patients not knowing whether they have COVID or not until days or weeks later. We'll know immediately so that we won't be unnecessarily using up personal protective equipment and other things on patients that may have another respiratory illness, but not necessarily COVID. And so that'll be really powerful too.
I think that's excellent. That's excellent. I know that I'd like to close by putting a plug for our businesses, our restaurants, and our retail establishments in Doylestown. I mean, we all know they're struggling, and we also believe that they're conducting themselves in a responsible way. And I would like to encourage people to still come out in Doylestown to help those businesses, to do their holiday shopping, but do it in a safe manner, and wear a mask at all times when you're in Doylestown.
And I'll tell you, door delivery is also available too.
There
They're
you
all
go.
doing takeout, and I think that's another way to support them. But yes, absolutely support. It supports our whole community, and we would not be here without the support of the community that has helped us as well.
Jim, thanks again for the opportunity to sit down and talk with you at Doylestown Health, and I'm sure we'll do this again. Thank you.
Absolutely. Stay safe, everyone.